Steelers Nation, welcome back to another episode of the Texas Steel Podcast. I'm Pierce Drexler, joined always by my boy, Jerry Greenstein. Hopping back in the saddle after a little mini hiatus, mini little bye week ourselves, but here to recap a victory on a Monday Night Football game over the New York Giants, coming to the crib, taking care of business, securing that dub, heading into the bye week at 6-2. Currently where we sit, still atop the AFC North. Still holding that third spot in the AFC as a whole. Drake, how we feeling?
It's a good day, baby. One New York goes down, the other one goes down with him.
Like dominoes.
Hey, bro, I didn't expect to be that close. They gave us a
If
seven line, but
if you watch the ball and you know the game, we should have 40 balled them. Honestly, I mean, we had 2 touchdowns. Let's just jump right into it. Obviously, GP gets one called back for a Broderick face mask. I mean, how often you seen an offensive face mask called these days?
let me just put it this way: if any play comes back,
you
you don't need to search. You don't need to watch the replay. I don't need to see things. Holding offense number 7. Oh man, Broderick ain't doing himself any favors, bro.
He is not. He is not. Unfortunately, that one erased 7 points off the board. And then when do you ever go and see a wide receiver get 2 of the same foot down, but not the second foot?
Yeah, I don't like that rule.
And I mean, maybe it'll get overturned after this.
This doesn't make sense because that Garrett Wilson catch.
A shin.
That
a shin is
counted,
in.
but
Yeah,
it just doesn't make sense.
for sure. I mean, hell of a catch by Garrett Wilson,
Yeah.
nonetheless. But obviously, I think we might have a little 2 different tones. I thought we completely handled business in that Giants game. I know it got a little shaky whenever Russ had the fumble and such, but obviously we were at the Shiners Bar, the Steelers Bar here in Austin, and Drake says, most expensive defense, go out and make it happen. What happens? TJ Watt comes to play.
Yes.
Beanie Bishop gets the game-sealing interception. Obviously, the unit rallied, and we closed it out when we needed to. Heading into the bye at 6-2. Looking forward, obviously, anything you got really you want to touch on?
All I want to
the
say
Giants
is
game?
Right guard for or right tackle,
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
it is. Hey,
Oh, yeah.
let me just put it this way.
Who?
I
We
want to
don't
be
even-
left on an island with TJ Watt. Every play, he gets a chip. Then he has the audacity to say, "Oh no, I held my own business."
At the end of the game?
On the biggest play of the game, they gave you that island, and what'd you do? Strip
Sold.
sack, and TJ gets the man. Boy, get out of here!
And then TJ went on to win AFC Defensive
come
Player
on,
of
bro.
the Week. So
He's trying to go 10 toes down, bro. You went 10 toes under, bro.
Oh yeah,
You look
That
got
boy.
left on an island and got exposed, bro.
Obviously, I mean, you're going to talk the mess. You're going to need to back it up, and he wasn't able to do such. TJ, not that he was feasting. He was getting tagged double here and there, but he still had, I think, 2 sacks, 1 a strip sack, 7 total tackles, 4 tackles for loss or
Yeah.
something of the sort, so he definitely came to play. And Beanie, I mean, the legend continues.
I
The
know,
legend
bro.
keeps growing.
The ball gravitates towards
He's-
Beanie Bishop,
he's-
bro.
He's a ball magnet, so I ain't going to complain with it. Felt good to get the dub. Obviously, going in there, we kind of had high aspirations, maybe dropping 40 on them, XYZ, but a dub is a dub. They all count the same, whether you beat them by 50 or you beat them by 1. So good to get in that. But as we look forward, obviously, we're hitting this gauntlet of a stretch that people like to claim. Got the Washington Commanders in Washington here Sunday at noon. Should be a good one. Obviously, they're coming off another win. They're looking hot. Jaden Daniels looking like Rookie of the Year out there.
Yep.
How we feeling going into there, and then we can kind of tap into some. No. Before we even get to there,
Well, yeah,
let's just run into some buzz going around
Yes.
the NFL. Obviously, trade deadline. Deadline is today. Every move that could have been made has been made. The doors are shut. Before we get into our moves that the Steelers have acquired and such, Deontay Dropson coming back to the AFC North. Does that worry you in any slight? It's looking like, again, one crazy key marquee matchup that I'm just kind of excited as we face the Ravens after this Commanders game is going to be seeing the guy we traded in Deontay Jackson getting lined up across Dante Jackson, who we
Yep.
traded for.
Oh, yes.
It's going to be that's an underlying
Man, that's an incredible
matchup,
storyline.
and
Yeah.
it'll be crazy to see him obviously coming to the Ravens with a little chip on his shoulder, both coming out of horrible organization in Carolina. But obviously that head-to-head, both of them are going to have a little bit extra chippiness
That's
in
an
that battle.
incredible
so
storyline, bro.
It'll be exciting.
Oh man, a lot of guys both have something to play for. I got traded
yeah.
for you. You got traded for me.
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot
But
of
the team,
pride at stake.
the team that acquired Dante Jackson seems to like the team that acquired Deontay drops in a little more. Obviously, he shipped him out after only like 6 games or so. I wouldn't want to play in Carolina either, so can't blame the cat. But as he moves into the AFC North yet again, just on the rival side, doesn't really scare me too much per se. But obviously, the Ravens are trying to make some moves and obviously continue to contend with the Chiefs, the Bills, all those other AFC juggernauts. But while they're doing those moves, we're making some of the moves on our own front. And Drake, I'll kind of pass the baton to you here for this one.
Yeah, I mean, I always had a soft spot for Deontay. I'm not like I was never dismissive of the drops, but I think he's one of the top route runners in the league, and I thought he was invaluable. But I don't regret the trade. Even when the trade was made, I didn't regret it because I know Dante Jackson been playing his salary off, bro. He's worth every penny right now.
Action Jackson.
But, honestly, I don't know if it moves the needle that much. Deontay Johnson's not going to take the Ravens from juggernaut to overnight like number one. But what I do like is Omar finally got off the couch and did his job, bro. Got ourselves a receiver, baby.
Talk to him.
Got ourselves a receiver.
Break the news.
Come on, Mike Williams.
Come on.
Jets to Pittsburgh. And this was the surprising one, bro. If you ask me, all right, before you found out, we also acquired Preston Smith, defensive end, outside linebacker from Green Bay. But before that news dropped, if you were to ask yourself, who else would we have acquired? I would not have said the end.
I definitely don't think so. But just touching, we'll get back to Mike Williams in a second. On more of that side, I think
Preston Smith.
Yeah, I think it only is going to elevate this D line. Obviously, Cam Hayward's getting older.
I got something to say though.
Yeah,
with that acquisition, bro, I was thinking about this in the car ride here. I think they're not letting on everything about Herbig.
Oh yeah, I think the injury is definitely probably a little greater.
To me, it doesn't make sense. You got Watt, you got Highsmith, you got Herbig. Who else? There was one other guy that's been doing well. I don't know. That's just a lot of depth, maybe more than you need. Especially for like a guy that like is pretty good himself. I don't know. I'm not saying, hey, I'll take the trade. He's a quality player. It just, to me, I feel like the only thing that would make sense is Herbig must be a little bit more injured than they're letting on.
Definitely. He might not be back as projected originally coming back to this Commanders game after this bye. And obviously we have a three-headed monster there with TJ Highsmith and Herbig himself. Bringing in this other piece, we traded a 7th-round draft pick for him, so it's not going to be a killer at the end of the day, and it's a 2025 one. So, I mean, I feel that he's going to come in, service his role, and if we can have TJ fresh after being double-teamed by every single snap, Highsmith, who's starting to get more double-team attention after his performance in the Giants game, he's one of my players of the game from last week as well. Maybe didn't get home as much as you would have liked, but every time he was just floating, hawking around the quarterback, which was awesome. But I agree with you to some extent. Herbig might not be as healthy and as ready to come back as we were originally anticipating. But, I mean, you add him to the mix, it's looking like we're going to have what wasn't already the best D-line edge rushers in the NFL. I mean, we solidified our group and are going to be only more of a threat, which is only going to help us in run protection, pass protection. I mean, if you're going to give the quarterback less time to throw the ball, and then obviously just another playmaker to stack the box with. I mean, I don't see it as an L in any regard. So
yeah, definitely, I like the trade. Just it caught me off guard. I think to me it just said there's got to be something missing here because you don't make that trade without cause or reason. But on the other hand, bro, Mike Williams, I like it. Nothing. I mean, it wasn't like a DK Metcalf or any of those other guys that people were floating around like we're gonna get Tyreek Hill. Cooper Kupp. That B- like type of acquisition. Nothing like crazy, but I do think it does if he lives up to it. Let's just say he does a formidable job. It opens up our offense to take. Now you have GP, a great 1v1 guy that's like a 70-30 when you throw up a ball to him.
Oh yeah,
and then also Mike Williams, who. I mean, it was 2 years ago, Pierce. They were saying he's the best one-on-one 50-50 ball guy.
I mean, it was a 7th overall pick in the first round.
Yeah, bro. So this is a guy. This is a guy that can hold his own on one.
Now here's a guy.
But you know what I'm trying to say. Now you have Mike Williams. Bro, you throw a one-on-one ball to Mike Williams, he still got it.
Oh yeah.
GP, you throw a 1v2, and then Calvin Austin gonna hit you with that.
Oh yeah, I think it definitely rounds out our receiving room. Gonna take a bunch more eyes off of Pickens as our alpha guy. So obviously they're gonna have to play on their toes a little bit more. They can't just take GP out of the game. But again, Lord willing or Lord forgiven, hopefully not knocking on wood, GP goes down. I'm at least confident with another serviceable 1B, 1A kind of guy. So obviously, and I think another thing that just touching, if we were to go get a DK Metcalf, if we were to go get a Cooper Kupp, even hell, throw Ayuk in the mix. What is that going to do to Pickens, like his mind space? Is he going to feel like, all right, they're slighting me a little bit, like you don't think I'm him or XYZ? I feel like, uh, oh my gosh, Mike Williams is a good person that's not going to make him feel any type of way, but still compliment and bring his game up another level. So obviously excited. The only downside I would have to say or play on this is Omar Khan. Yes, while we're thankful you pulled the trigger, trading a 5th-round pick for him when you could have done the same, trading a 5th-round pick to get D-Hop, which it just, I mean, that's a little, obviously I think we were trying to let all the market marinate, see we didn't want to pull the trigger on D-Hop just for either Cooper Kupp or some of these other Garrett Wilsons to come on and then feel like we missed an opportunity. But obviously hindsight maybe 2020. I've been wanting Hopkins on the squad for a minute. He was one of my front runners. But to see him go off last night against Kansas City, get 2 tutties and I think it was like 70 or so yards. I mean, obviously, grass might always look greener with that acquisition. Not saying I'm not happy with this Williams acquirement, but just seeing
I think the whole league is kind of regretting not trading for him because I mean, there's a lot of teams that need a receiver right now. And
well,
I mean,
and again,
if a 5th.
Thankfully, we got really the last marquee, big name, alpha-ish receiver that's out there. Because I mean, it kind of drops off Adam from Thielen. There. Oh yeah. And apparently, the Carolina Panthers and us were under negotiations and talks, but we were far apart. Which I mean, I'm not going to go out and trade.
I'm not giving anything more than like a fifth for a fifth. Adam Thielen, 30-something years old.
Most definitely agree. So obviously, Williams coming in here, we got kind of a good little receiving core now. I mean, from what was at the beginning of the year and kept us afloat at 6-2 with a Pickens and what we were kind of assuming 3, 4, 5s duking it out. Obviously, we have now a solidified 2. Calvin Austin is definitely stepping into that wide receiver 3 with Russell Wilson's play. Van Jefferson still in the mix, but then we got Pat Muth, Darnell Washington, a 2-headed monster in the backfield, which I'm excited. Hopefully, Jaylen Warren has taken this week to fully get back to health so we can get back to.
Speaking of health, bro, we got. Bro, it's like the return, bro. The Avengers are back, bro.
Coming back.
We got Cordell Patterson, the center, Frazier. Who else we got? I mean, Herbig is allegedly supposed to be coming back.
That's what I've heard as well.
Maybe he is healthy. But, I mean, we got an onslaught of guys coming back, Pierce. Going to this Washington game with probably the healthiest roster that we've had since week 1.
Oh, yeah.
Probably, honestly. So, I'm excited. You know what I'm really most excited for, though, is the... You know, people may call me crazy, but I am excited for the onslaught of the injuries, or not the injuries, the onslaught of this schedule.
Oh, yeah.
What they call the onslaught of the schedule.
Oh, yeah.
Because, look, at the end of the day, I'm not here to discredit what we've done, but we've beaten teams that I wouldn't say are, like, trending in the right direction. Like, the Jets aren't where they want to be. The Giants sure as hell ain't where they want to be. The Chargers are kind of trending on being good but mediocre.
They're looking up.
They're looking up. But when we played them, I mean, they're undefeated. But yeah. But here's what I'll say. There hasn't been what's like the biggest true test that we've seen all season?
Dude, to be honest, I mean,
the Raiders weren't like nothing crazy.
People might not want to say it, and granted, it was week 1. New system, new everything.
Yeah.
The Falcons is a tough game. You look at where they're trending. They're 3rd in the AFC or NFC right now. I mean, they just continue to stack wins. If you look at it, who is it? It's Lions 1. Who's that 2nd spot? But I mean, they're right there. They're competitive. I think they got a 6-3 record.
We can get to the minutia all that. I like that win, but we're mid-season now. I'm honestly just the point I'm trying to make is I'm just really excited to learn more about because like dude, we're gonna play Baltimore. Baltimore is in every power rankings. They're saying they're a juggernaut. We're gonna play the Chiefs. Everyone, I mean, they're the defending champs. Everyone's calling them the juggernaut. I can't wait to see how Russ does against them. I can't wait to see how our defense holds up against Lamar, against Pat, against Joey B. And at the time, for the time being, it's been like Gardner or not Gardner Minshew, whoever's Aiden McConnell. It's been Daniel
Aaron
Jones.
Rodgers.
Not to discredit it, no win is easy in the NFL, but bro, I'm ready. I'm ready for the smoke. I'm ready for the test.
I agree. Because if we're gonna be sitting here at 6-2, going into the bye, preaching that Super Bowl is still relevant, this Mike Williams, does it push the needle? Does it not? Regardless, I mean, we're gonna see if we're battle tested coming down the stretch, and I'm just happy we're coming to it healthy, so we can't have any lingering. Oh well, this excuse, that excuse. Like, no, we're gonna go out, show our best cards on the table, and see if we can battle. But obviously, don't think that it's. If we look at the stretch of our seasons, I mean, you can maybe exclude divisional games because those are going to be hard fought regardless. You could probably say Cleveland's our weakest opponent in the horizon. But I'd like to think that Washington, I mean, everyone knows Coach T's record against rookie quarterbacks. Yeah. Damn good. Probably over 80% floating somewhere in there. I mean, I would like to say that the Commanders are probably the easiest team of this upcoming stretch. Maybe not easiest, but I don't think any of them are generally easy. The
not,
Philly Eagles are looking good. The Bengals are putting up points. The Ravens are always tough-nosed. The Chiefs, I mean, it's just a ridiculous gauntlet. But I like that we are going to be able to go in there and have a chance to get our feet back wet from the bye week and hopefully secure a dub here against the Washington Commanders because, I mean, they're looking good, but they're not unbeatable. Jaden Daniels is still a rookie. And our defense is ready to pin their ears back.
Well, she was playing like one, bro. He be slanging that thing.
I know. He's damn good. Don't get me wrong. But again, Tomlin, this is the time where he kind of rallies the troops. He knows what's on the line. They're just going back to the beginning of the year, man. There is just a different energy and a buzz this year with this team. I truly feel like they're trying to take all the strides possible to make this year the year.
Pat and Najee said this is the best team they've been on. And that was the beginning of the year, Pierce. And this is a guy. These are guys that were part of that 11-0 team, or the guys that play with Ben.
Yeah,
that gives me a lot of faith in Russ and this offense and in Coach T, just the team in general. But yeah, I'm excited to see the test. I'm excited to see what I believe the biggest gap now is filled. How much does it move the needle? How much does it change our offense? How much does it open up things in the passing game? Now having a guy that can hopefully create such a separation and actually make himself like available for like a 1v1 ball.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. How would you grade the first half of the season?
First half of the season, I mean, obviously, got to give it a higher rating to some extent. But I mean, we still left some out on the table. Quite frankly, I don't know if you're asking the wrong guy, but I feel like we could be sitting here at 8-0.
Oh, I don't think I was just thinking it earlier. I mean, we're one Dak Prescott 4th down conversion from 7-1, and we're, in my opinion, I feel like we're one botch snap away from 8-0.
I agree.
I don't think
Fields would go down there and get it done against that Colts team.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, he was cooking them.
I mean, it's just definitely tough to see and tough pills to swallow in that regard because I do feel like we're even better than our record leads on. And that was with a backup quarterback for our first 6 games, keep in mind. Not discrediting Justin. We're happy with the production he's done. I'd say overall, I mean, it's tough to give us anything less than a B-, even flirting with an A.
Yeah,
I mean, I could definitely get into that tier. I just look at it as kind of your point earlier. We haven't really been too battle tested. Granted, we've dealt with our fair share of injuries, and we've been beating the teams you're supposed to beat, which is not the Steelers of old. Steelers of old would have fumbled an extra game or two down this stretch. So obviously, I see some upside there. I just think a better question posed is, do we think that we're legitimate contenders? And I think over the next 2-3 weeks, we're really going to have a more clear answer on that.
Facts.
But
that's
again,
exactly what that's exactly where I'm getting at.
At the beginning of the year, I'd still think we're in a contending spot, and I'd give us, I think a B+ is fair. Obviously, left more out there, but I mean, very, very tough to complain at a 6-2 record with a backup quarterback for 80% of those games.
Yeah, there's a lot of meat on the bone as far as learning this team, but I'm so excited to get in the divisional play. I mean, based off of how we're performing, I want to chalk the Browns games up as wins, 8-2. I like us splitting Baltimore, 9-3. I like us at least splitting Cincinnati.
At least.
I'll say 10-4. So that's 3 games left. That's Philly, Washington, and the Chiefs. I'm gonna be generous. Give us 1 out of 3. So that's 11-6. I think I think somewhere in that range. I say 11 or 6. And honestly, I feel like it could be better because based off of how we've played against our division, bro.
5-1 last year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to eat my words, but I'm feeling. I like it. 11-6. I want to cap off. I can't wait to learn more about the team though. I'm excited to be battle tested.
And it's so good and refreshing to have some leadership and some trust on the offensive side of the ball. Like truly, even back to Big Ben's latter days of his career. Like when did you actually have them take the field and you weren't like wanting to bang your head against the wall or like I mean. Just tying back to the Giants game once more, yes, the scoreboard might not have reflected, but if you look at it, we're moving down the field left and right. Play calling, Arthur Smith is starting to cook, and he's even, you see everyone just starting to vibe up and feel his energy. Like
100-yard rushing games, Pierce, are becoming normalized for the Steelers. That's crazy.
Crazy. And again, that's not,
I mean. 3 weeks in a row, Najee's had 100-plus yards. That's crazy.
And that's not all credit to Najee. I mean, obviously, tip the cap. I've been a Najee advocate his entire career. I'm probably one of his bigger fans, but I think that's also Russell Wilson opening up the passing game, whereas Justin might not have been able to unlock that as best as Russell has. And so now it's keeping the defense on their toes a little bit. Offense, I mean, can we talk about also having a third-string center in there? Backups damn near everywhere across the O-line, and we're still getting the holes in 100-yard performances. I mean, it's not to be undermined, not to be undercredited. So, I mean, the healthier we get, the better we go into this back stretch. I mean, like Cam Hayward said at the beginning of the schedule, oh, aren't you worried about all this back half? He's like, they should be worried to play us, bro. Like, we're a tough, hard-nosed team, and I think we're finally having the league come around to realize and give some flowers and respect to our name. But
they see our team and they see our name on the schedule like, oh, this is gonna be a
it ain't gonna be a gimme, that's for sure.
They're gonna drag us through them. They're gonna have to earn every single That's what people
if they're gonna beat us, it's gonna be earned. And obviously I think the Cowboy it's a horrible,
especially Pierce, especially I mean, we don't need to spend more time on it. It's just PTSD watching that shit happen right in front of us, bro. But do you see the Cowboys right now, bro? They look
and that's what makes it hurt even more,
bro. And then you see the Colts. I mean, they're just
it's tough, man. It's tough. But again, flush them, keep them in the back. It would be awesome if those could be our only 2 L's of the year. But got a long season ahead of us. We're gearing up for the Commanders. We're gonna pop out here one more time with a little bit of a preview coming here in the next couple of days. But obviously, with the news break of Mike Williams and the other requirements we've made across the way, we definitely needed to tap in with you guys. Anything else before we land this plane?
No, man. Washington preview up next.
Let's go. Let's get it to 7-2. Obviously, take another leap over the AFC North and solidify our hopefully third to second place in the conference. But we will see that. We'll keep you posted with all things Steelers. Until then, Steelers Nation, here we go. Steelers, here we go.